Hello, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It doesn't matter where you are when you are watching this. Last week we had a 5 days training about live streaming where we come up with great ideas, great insights. We discussed the corona hot virus, and we're gonna talk about this in a few minutes. Please stay tuned. Hello, hello, good morning. I'm Marco Novo, I'm from Portugal, and I'm here to join in a few seconds my friend Steven Healey. He's on the basement. I left there to him a glass of water and 2 cookies. I think it's enough. And he will be joining us. Let me see what it is. Okay. Hello, Mr. Healy. How are you?
Good morning, Marco. It's good to be here on LinkedIn, and I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
How did you actually create the intro with the countdown?
Well, vMix works like with layers. So
Right.
you have to upload everything you want to come up and then join. Okay, you have a feature which is multi-view, like this one we are now. Okay, so you have to put the elements. But even though that intro with the countdown, I have to figure it out how to set it the proper way, because you can put triggers. For instance, when you put the scene on the screen, the countdown should start.
Okay.
And I'm doing it manually. Dummy.
Okay.
And the other thing you can set is when the countdown finish, automatically it comes my camera, for instance. And then when I put the intro with the music and turn at the end, I'm already learning how to make it, but it's a huge platform with all these triggers you can set, which can save you time and problems and concernings when you're live.
I mean, that's it. We're actually learning something new every day with a number of platforms that there are. And everybody's always improving. There's always something new to learn, and that's the daily challenge, isn't it?
Absolutely. Well, so I think it's a nice way to start the conversation about what you came up last week. I don't know how many times did you make that week training, 5-day training.
It was the 7th time.
Oh my God!
We started back in August 2018 was the first one. And we tried to go every 2, 3, 4 months. So it was the 7th time. It's a team of people. It's a team of people who've got to know each other, and 9 of us in total. And this time round, we're joined by Joe Shepherd from Ireland. And just get on. They understand each other. They enjoy talking to each other. And it's the enjoyment that leaps out of the screen. I mean, I've got some fabulous... I download the videos and then use the program to actually slice it into screenshots. And there are some amazing photographs on there, which I'll share in the coming days. There's this chap from Portugal always smiling. I think that's the key to it. Everybody enjoys themselves, and we're actually sharing information about live broadcasting. By actually doing it, we're showing what can be done with live broadcasting. We're sharing information. We're sharing how to build your brand, how to use the latest software, a whole range of topics, all of which are relevant, whether you're actually just starting out or you're an existing streamer.
Absolutely. Well, we have Marcelo. Hello, Marcelo. How are you? From Atlanta. We are seen on the United States. Hello, Marcelo. So today we're talking about the 5 days training we had live we had last week. And Steven, you talked some minutes ago about the thing that for me it's also the one of the best parts of this is to be learning all the day, and it comes to the syndrome, the imposter syndrome, which is that question we face. I guess all of us should face the imposter syndrome. At least it's a way to tell ourselves, okay, you should do this right. You should come up with nice content. I think till this point, it's okay to have the imposter syndrome. Okay, to put some responsibility on you, but also we should be aware about that thing you talked some minutes ago. We are learning all the time. We can improve all the time. We are everlasting learners. Some thoughts about this, please, Steven.
I think that it is important that if you're going to go live, you use the best technology. And you really got to know the software from beginning to end. You've got to know how to use it, how to get the most out of it. And we're fortunate. We do have a wide choice of system. We're on vMix today with Marco at the helm, controlling things. And vMix has been around for quite a while. And it is, well, it's an industry standard. People use vMix professionally to do sportscasts, to do webinars, a whole range of topics. But this really took off 5 years ago when Blab came into being, and Blab was just 4 people on screen, and then we got BeLive. And if you can master BeLive, or you can master StreamYard, or you can master Zoom, then you're well equipped to go live on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Vimeo, in fact, wherever, Twitch, don't forget Twitch. But you're well equipped to go wherever you want to go. But you do need to keep on top of the software that you're actually using. You also need to be able to make the best out of it. And we as a, well, we don't normally read manuals, but in the case of video software, it's a good idea to actually watch some videos about it, learn about it, and be able to use it properly.
Absolutely, absolutely, because that's the thing. Sometimes you don't take every advantage, everything that. Oh, okay. Sometimes they have more than you need things. They have over features. So
totally.
So I think it's another problem, and we talked about this last week. It's when you get over. Usually we complicate things. Okay, for instance, I remember when I began live streaming. I started on Blab. I had already this camera, this microphone. I didn't bought anything from there, and that's another point. I think we also discussed this last week, which is the keep it simple, start simple, and then improve. How did you make it?
Totally. Right. Okay. When I first started, I just had the computer using the inbuilt camera and the inbuilt microphone, and I thought it was the best thing ever and fantastic. And 5 years later, when I look back now, I think, oh wow, that was okay, but could do better. And over the years, you actually improve the equipment that you've got. And I mean, for years I had a C920 camera and a lapel microphone recommended by Udemy, and I thought that was good. I thought that was really good. But as I sit here now, 5 years down the line, I've progressed even further. And I've now got a Microsoft Surface Book 2, 16 gig of RAM, two graphics processors. I've got the Brio camera, and I've got an Audio Technica microphone. So everything has changed. As I've invested in the hardware, then all my hardware has actually changed over the years.
So, okay, I'm starting today, and we are talking about hardware. On which hardware I should give priority? For instance, if I don't have a huge budget to start, which hardware should I prioritize today to start?
To get today, possibly we both agreed that the external camera, and the external camera of choice that over 80% of live streamers use is the Logitech C920. This is the Logitech C920. It captures a good image, and in addition to that, it's got an inbuilt microphone. Once you have a high quality video and high quality microphone, you're already making steps to creating high quality video. You just need one thing, which will cost you $60, which is a Logitech C920 camera, and then you've stepped away from being a hobbyist, doing it for fun, to actually starting to do it seriously. So $60 will give you a great leap forward into the world of live broadcasting, because you've got C920 as well.
Yeah,
I mean, I've got one.
Yeah, I do. He's right in front of me.
Yeah, standard. It's industry standard.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that's one problem about people think that you should buy a Hollywood studio camera and expensive microphones, and that's it. C920 already got the right, at least a really good image, acceptable sound. So because it's one thing, it's important, it's the sound. People should understand what you are saying, because okay, if the image is not so good from time to time, it's okay. But if the sound is or too loud, too low or too loud, people, okay, let's go.
Well, people will move on, won't they?
Yeah.
If you got bad sound, then people will actually turn the sound so they're not hearing what you're saying, and they will go somewhere else.
Absolutely.
Sound is the biggest way of actually keeping an audience, good quality sound, because people can listen to you, you go and look at different things.
Okay. Well, we are now live on São Paulo, Brasil. Olá, Reinaldo, bom dia. E Portugal too. Olá, Nuno, bom dia, bem-vindos. Estamos aqui a falar um pouquinho de live streaming. Some other ideas you want to bring to the conversation about the last week training week?
Yeah, I think that the thing that came out of, if we go through the shows, Monday was switching to Studio 2 with us and David. And if you want to get live and you want to go live on Facebook and YouTube, then there is a low cost, simple, easy way to do that. And that's with BeLive Studio 2. But Marco and I have got courses on Udemy about BeLive Studio 2, and they will help you get up to speed very quickly. You don't need any technical expertise. You just plug in your camera, plug in your microphone, and you're ready to go live. And you can go live on Facebook, on your business page, on your profile, in a group, and go live on YouTube separately at the moment. And it's the easiest way to do it. An alternative way to do it would be StreamYard. Both they go to, not only do they go to Facebook, but they go to YouTube, LinkedIn, RTMP, Periscope.
Yeah.
So there are definite possibilities, but all you need is the software, and that's what we're talking about. Studio 2. Studio 2, you can actually do optimization. You can do the lower thirds, can't you? You can use graphics and your own. You make software.
Absolutely. It's And I think they are improving the interface, which is important, mostly because one thing we should be aware about this is that most of the people don't want to be live streaming experts, don't want to be pro on live stream. They just want to go from every week, every 2 weeks, do a simple thing without too fancy things, without too fancy features, like us, that we like to put things together and come with new features and so on. But I think most of the people don't want that. They just want to go as simple as it could be, as easy as it could be. Okay, let's go to the train. Oh, there are some people there. There's no problem with coronavirus on that train station.
Yeah, and then we had the syndrome, which really spoke, and the was going on Friday, and going live on YouTube's different text, isn't it, Marco?
Yeah, let me close here some windows,
Yeah,
because
okay.
I am having some cuts here. Let me
Okay,
see
I'm going
if
to close some of my windows too.
but please, can you please repeat the question? I had some cuts meanwhile you were.
The question. Right, certainly. Going live on YouTube is different to going live on Facebook. Different audience.
Absolutely, different audience, different mindset. You should think about YouTube as a long run, extra large marathon. I will say it, because you should be more strategically working there. For instance, on Facebook, you could think in the immediate, in the long term, in the short, very very short term. But Facebook, I think you should come with more strategic. You should think on the long run. You should think about, for instance, longer videos, different approach to content. It's more hard to do things there. But at the same time, as usual, if you work well, you'll get better results. I think you're starting watching some movements there, because I've been looking at your channel and the things are going up.
Things are heading right way. As you said, it's a long game, isn't it, Marco? Because you don't know anybody over on YouTube. So your initial audience is people you met on Facebook. And the thing about people on Facebook is they don't really like going on YouTube. So you have to build a new audience, which means that you have to be searchable. And the way you get searchable on YouTube is by using tags. And those tags are very important. The tags are the difference between people finding you and not. If you put a video on YouTube and you don't put any tags in, then YouTube and Google will not be able to help people find you. It's very important to get the SEO right on YouTube. Yeah. Is that sound coming from me?
No.
No, right, okay. Right, it's very important to get the SEO right. You need to be able to be found, and it's easy to do in that you search out the keywords which relate to the topics that you're talking about. And it's a long process to get a list of 20-30 terms which are relevant to what you're talking about. You should include part of the title in the tags. And once you've got that SEO sorted, then you can move it from one place from one video to another. But it is well worth investing the time, and we're not talking hours, we're talking days and weeks. It's a continual improvement process to actually get the SEO right, because what you want to happen is for people to type. Well, I'll give you for instance, I've got videos about XSplit vCam, which is the software I'm using at the moment. So I can go from just me to a background, and I can keep changing those backgrounds, and it just adds to telling the story.
Yeah, absolutely.
So my search term, one of my search terms on YouTube is XSplit VCAM. Now I include that in every video I do, whether I'm using XSplit VCAM or not. And that means that when people go to Google search and when they go to YouTube search and they type in XSplit VCAM, my videos have a good chance of showing up in search. Now, the next trick is it shows up in search and it shows the show card, the actual, what's it called? The image that you put along with the video, and that's
Thumbnail.
where you've got to be canny. Yeah, that's where you've got to be incredibly good, because you want something which is eye-catching but still tells the truth. So you need a show card which basically attracts people's attention. Now, there are people who are artists at this. I'm still practicing. I think most of us are still practicing. But you want people who have typed in XSplit VCAM, you come up with a list of matches. What you actually want is for people to say, that's the one I want to watch. And unfortunately, that's it. So get your SEO right. It's got to be done. Get the image right. That's got to be done. And you can start to build a community on YouTube, and you increase your followers, subscribers as they're called on YouTube. And it's increasing your subscribers that's the key to success. Now, since I started on what I'm doing at the moment, 3 months ago I woke up to how you actually run YouTube, and I'm now gone from I've increased my subscribers by 71 in the period, which is the right way to go. So more subscribers equals more watch time. More watch time equals more people seeing it. But the important thing is that if you've got a video and Google sees that people are watching it and commenting on it and watching it for a fair length of time, then YouTube will start to promote you. And that means that you're going to get viewers that you never even dreamt of getting. But it's all down to getting the SEO and the image right.
Yeah.
Rant over.
I think we should make soon a live just talking about YouTube, because it's a huge platform. It's amazing how you can. But okay, it's you should work hard, but it's not difficult. I think it's not that random to ranking on YouTube. It's not random. If you took the right way or the right path, you can shortcut. There's some hacks you can make some to make it. Yeah,
I'm intrigued. I'm still on screen here.
Sorry. Okay.
I'm still the only one.
Okay. Okay.
People hear you. People hear you. Can't see you.
Because I'm watching us on the preview, so it was okay.
I'm just gonna go to the office.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess it's another thing that sometimes we are scared. Oh, and if I make some mistakes, or I don't hit the right button, or okay, there's no problem at all. I don't know if I don't know where it was. It was, I think, on it was on Thursday night. I went live and I started to talk blah 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 blah. And after I guess 8 minutes, someone wrote on the comments, "It's just me that can't hear you." And oh my god!
Yeah. It's. We've all done that. We try not to. You go through a checklist before the show, but until you actually go live, and people start reacting, and people give you. This is the wonderful thing about live video. People will tell you if you do something wrong or something's not working. People will tell you. It's a very friendly place to be, is live video. Whether you be on LinkedIn or Facebook or YouTube, you'll find that people will help you. People want to help you. They're not here to criticize you. everything they do is constructive, and that's the beauty of live video. It is a constructive world. Mark and I support each other, enjoy being in each other's shows, enjoying being part of 5 Days Live, and that's what it's all about. We've built a network around the globe. We've got lots of mutual friends, and everybody supports each other. Everybody helps each other. We've got a situation at the moment, as we know globally. Coronavirus is affecting over 100 countries, and it's affecting live events. It's affecting places where people get together in conferences to talk about what's happening. And the people who speak at these events, of course, because they are not traveling, they've got to look to live video, like we are today, as the way to actually get the message out. Now, the way that I look at it is, if anybody wants help, the help is there. If you want to know how to go live, you know how to speak, you know what you're talking about, no arguments there, you're good at what you do, but going live requires a bit of learning and a slight change in your skill set. And we're available. We're here to help you go live and reach your audience, even if you can't be there in person.
Absolutely. Well, nice thing to talk about, the coronavirus and the events which are cancelled all over the world, and this new thing that people like a miraculous thing. Oh, live streaming should be the way. We are the Wizards of Oz. But that's the point, Steven. We should, and we are facing climate changes. The importance of being ecologic, saving money, saving time, saving lots of things. And one of the advantages that you talked, it's the possibility to connect with people like we do for all over the world, literally all over the world. And I think we are missing this opportunity. And I think coronavirus showed people, okay, there's live streaming. Look at this.
That's true.
Let's talk about some advantages of doing this, because we already talked, and people who knows you and who knows me knows that we are always available, because one thing we both respect and aware is that it's not easy to start. It's hard to find someone who can really help us starting this. We know, I guess we both know, it was a little bit, at least me, at the beginning, it was a very lonely process. I had people who look at me, oh, what is this thing of live streaming? Stop doing stupid things, get real. And some other tried to make live streaming like they were preparing a movie, which is not also the point. So, advantage of live streaming that you, by your expertise, not because that lines that come on the blog post for those who write about live stream but never made live stream, which are lots of people. About your experience, Steven, please.
Certainly, Marco. The thing about live streaming is it takes you out of your comfort zone. It takes you out of your office or home. It puts you out into the real world. This is the real world. This is where people can connect around the globe. There is no way without live video that Marco and I will be talking today. There's no way that 5 Days Live would have taken place. There is no way that Marco would have been able to interview over 100 people. And there's no way that I'd have done so many shows. I mean, I broadcast 5 days a week with Marco, with David, with Fons, with the Blubbing for Britain team. We're in our 5th year. and my partner Angelica is a German teacher, and we broadcast, or she broadcasts, and I produce shows for people who are wanting to learn German. So the topics are wide-ranging. You can talk about anything on live video. You can share your expertise. You can share who you are, and that's a point in case. You can't hide on live video, and you shouldn't be afraid of being on live video. Be yourself. Just go live, and in the beginning, as Marco said, it's going to be a struggle for two reasons. One, because you need to get the self-confidence, and that only comes, it's simple, the more lives you do, the more confident you become. Second thing is, you're not doing this alone. You can reach out to fellow broadcasters and you can work together. Marco enjoys broadcasting solo. I do too, but my best work comes when there are two or more people on screen.
Absolutely.
And there are people around the globe. Well, it does, Marco, doesn't it? I mean, it's more.
Absolutely.
It's not just. It's not just twice as much fun. It's a totally different world once you get more than one person on screen.
Yeah. One thing about my solo video, it's because one thing, Steven. It's not okay. I started doing it solo, okay, and I was starting to understand that I was being perceived like the interviewer guy, you know. And from time to time, you should come up with your own ideas, talking about your own ideas, about your own expertise. So people still look at you as the something. He knows something more than just making interviews. But it's important, as you said. If I have to keep just one, of course I will keep interviews, because the fun, the learning you get. One thing is also the authority transmission that your guest brings to you, his community that should come and know who you are, and it's huge. It's amazing everything that you can get when you have a guest. Another, even though, and it's something that, for instance, what we had last week, we were talking. How many people last week? 9 people? 8?
9 people in total.
Okay.
Yeah, there were 9 of us.
There were shows we were talking about the same topic. We have, okay, some have more hours, more live stream hours than others. Okay, but I guess most of us have at least hundreds of hours live streaming. And because of our mindset, our culture, our way of see the world, we came up with really different ideas, with a really different perspective. It was so worth. So my God. So I don't.
It was magical.
It was so rich for me. It's rich in the point of getting ideas, getting knowledge. It was the first time, I guess, this time, because we are starting know each other better. We are the group. Yeah. It's evolving. I think we came up with more ideas. So I guess it's one of the greater things about this of live streaming. It's the if I had to take 2 words about this, it's friendship on top, of course, and learning.
Yes, that's right.
Please talk about it, because Steven, you are a great networker. You are a friend maker. Talk about this, please.
I'm a veteran. It says so down there. The thing that happens over time, as I said earlier, we've done 7 5 days live, and that's going live for an hour a day, Monday through Friday for 1 week. Team of 9 of us, myself, Marco, and 7 other good people. And the thing that happens if you broadcast together and get to know each other is that there's a chemistry that builds between you. So you become able to understand each other, and you can play off each other, and you can listen to people talking about their expertise, and then you can absorb that expertise, and then you can share it, and you can talk about it. And there's a flow that comes with when you know each other, when you respect each other, when you want to learn from each other, and it's that flow which is captured in the video. That's why the live experience with 4 people on screen is so special. When the 4 people know each other, appreciate each other, and want to talk, there's no stopping people sometimes from talking. The conversation goes and flows, and there's nobody leading it. It just leads itself, and you can tell how involved the people on screen are, and involves the people watching too.
Yeah, it's amazing. I was thinking about the thing that nobody comes or stop another one to talk. There's respect. Nobody says, "Oh, okay, you're wrong. What you're saying doesn't make any sense." It's good for us. It's good to this diversity. We have people from Portugal, from UK. From United States, Canada, South Africa. I think we should go to Asia, find someone to talk. Because we have Irene.
Well, the problem that we face is time zones. If we go live at 3 p.m. our time, because it's the same time for both of us. If we go live at 3 p.m., it's 10 a.m. on the east coast of America, and it's 7 a.m. on the west coast of America. So that's just about reaching both coasts of America. But there is no way we can go live at 3 p.m. and reach Australia, because it's 2 in the morning. Which brings me to a great point, in that I'm planning with Adair and Theone and with Leanne and Rod to do a 5 days live Southern Hemisphere, or 5 days live South, as it be called. That will take in Australia, New Zealand, every area, well, every country in that area. So we're doing a 5 days live Southern. It's still in the planning stages at the moment, but that will take place. But it does bring people together from different cultures, different countries, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And another thing which is important, it's the you don't just develop your technical skills, your knowledge about your work, for instance. It also, and I talk for me, by heart, by doing, it's developing the language skills. It also develops the availability or the ability to listen to others, because it's important. It's to understand you as a sponge, Marco, which should be all the times listening and learning from others, even though you may know a lot about something. There's always, because we used to say here in Portugal, if you have one mouth and 2 ears, it means that you should listen the double, then you speak. So it's important, this, right, Steven?
It is. If you do a show on your own, a solo show, for 60 minutes, then you've got to fill the entire hour. You've got to speak for 60 minutes. As soon as you stop talking, the broadcast falls, and it's not as interesting for you or the people watching. When there are 2 of you on screen, as Mark and I are on screen, then the 60 minutes is split between both 20 minutes. It means that we both listen. When there are 4 on screen, it means that each person is talking for 15 minutes, which means that when you're live with another 3 people, you're actually listening for 3/4 of the time. And that's where the learning aspect comes in. That's where the respect aspect comes in. Because you're able to, as Marco said, you're able to absorb, like a sponge, what other people are saying. You learn from it. So going live is not just you talking, it's about listening to the people you're actually broadcasting with. And that's the magic.
Yeah, because it happens often. I prepare my show, even though I before I used to at least put some topics on a paper so I can some questions. Now I don't. I of course I have some idea when I ask someone to join me on my show. I have some things I want to talk about it, but I don't prepare the questions. I go with the flow, which is I think it's better to don't break the conversation. For instance, if we are talking about yellow cars, then okay, let's talk about pink boats, and it's okay. It's not so. The flow is not as good as it is if we are catching some ideas, and I think it's also. And I notice it happened with me when I'm alone. I start talking. Okay, let's talk about this. Blah 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 blah. It's rare to get any comment. It seems that I'm doing a monologue. I will try. Yeah. I think I will start doing in a Shakespeare way by rhyming. Maybe I should get more viewers and comments. But that's it. It's a loneliness. Well, I don't know how to say. It's a lonely process, a lonely moment, because as I used to say, and believe me, it's true. Here, people are more shy. They even on comments. They don't come up with comments, not even say hello, how are you, or thank you, good night, bye bye. It's amazing. but when you're just alone, and so when you have some guest or guests, it's more dynamic, and that's the point. By the way, how do you get the guests? Did you start it? Which criteria do you use to choose a guest, and how do you at the end how do you have your own feedback about the interview?
All right, I know where we're going. I think in terms of choosing a guest, it's best if you choose a guest who's going to talk about something you're interested in. So I'm interested in time management. And Claire Evans, Burmese guide to time management. It was obvious to actually have Claire and those made for good shows because I'm interested in the topic. So I know about the topic. I've read Claire's book. I can actually talk about it intelligently. But this is the important thing about live broadcasting and interviews. It's not my story that counts, it's Claire's story. And my job in an interview is just to actually sit back and listen. So in terms of finding people to interview, I find people who interest me. And if they say no, we know that's not a problem, but they might just say yes. And I've reached out to many people, and I thought there is no way that they come and they'll sit with me and talk for 30 minutes. But they have, and that's because you go the extra mile when you're asking people, Marco, what do you decide? How do you decide to interview people?
Well, one thing I should identify with the person. There was, for instance, I had some professionals that because of the knowledge, the technical thing, I would like to have them on the show, but then I've seen some not matching behavior, some not matching chemistry, and I let them down. Okay, that's one thing. Another thing, it's something that it's important for me or to my audience, which is a hot topic on that time, something that I think it's important and it's not enough explored, or is not enough people don't take that importance of the thing. I like to for instance, if there's a thing that I'm always seeing that is not doing good or is not working properly, I used to come again and again talking about that topic with different guests. For instance, email marketing. I already have 3 or 4 guests in 2 years talking about the same topic, because people are killing email marketing all the time, and I have to I need to to bring it to life, because it's true, it's still alive, and that's one of the things. And diversity for me, it's also important. Bring people from different places, different countries, different realities to. But one of the things is, it's really important. It's for me to match the personality, the mindset of that person to be my guest, because at the end it comes to the screen, even though it's not told, it's not spoken, it's watched. The people see it, feel it. So it's important to have that personality match.
I agree. Interviewing somebody you don't like is a definite no-no. If you don't like somebody, don't interview them, because it's not going to end well, because at some point you're actually going to fall out on screen. And whilst that makes for good viewing for an hour, it doesn't make people are going to say, well, he just argues on screen, we're not going to watch him anymore. So don't interview people you don't like, because it's not going to go well. Do interview people you're actually interested, where you're interested in a topic, you're interested in them. Well, this is it. I mean, Marco, we're here, we tell stories, don't we? We don't sell, we're not salesmen, but we tell stories.
Absolutely, it's about story. And one thing that should be also important when you have some guests is to understand the subject he will or she will talk about it. Because, for instance, if you bring someone to talk about rocket science and you don't know anything about it, it will ruin your show for sure. Okay, maybe you should want to talk about his personal life, his social life, how he or she became a rocket scientist. Okay, but it's one thing also, and should be also important to your audience, because if you are talking something just you and him or her, it should be, you can make it offline.
That's true.
I think it would not work. So I don't know. We are coming to the final, facing the goal.
Time flies.
Oh my God! It flies. Time flies, Mr. Wilson. Mr. Healey. So, besides this South live training, anything else you want to share? Any project?
Right, I'm going to start a new project. I've got the title for it. It's the Almost Complete Guide to Live Streaming.
Oh!
Most people would write the Complete Guide to Live Streaming.
Ultimate.
I'm a realist. It will never be a complete guide to live streaming, because we've said at the top of the show, things are always changing. So the Almost Complete Guide to Live Streaming. So I'm off on a world tour. I'm going to be looking at all the various software systems, and I'm looking forward to that. It's good to have a break occasionally. So I'm going over to Lightstream, to StreamYard, to Zoom. In fact, anywhere that will have me, I'm going to have a look around. And yourself? What are you in the plans?
Well, I'm about to finish a partnership. I think I should sign the papers this week with a company. Brilliant. Yeah, with another software company to visuals, mostly to make. It's a Canva competitor.
Competition is good.
Yeah, and they have I used the that tool some years ago. Then I left them now because they called me. I take the look, and they are nice. They have nice features in some things. They are better than Canva. So you should stay tuned to follow the news. Another thing, my website, I think, finally will lift off in some weeks, which she will.
Good news.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
my online congress about live streaming, I didn't give up. I just have to put it to postpone it because there's too many things to do, and I have to prioritize which things. But I think it's a must do, mostly on Spanish and Portuguese, because there's a huge gap between the people who talks English and the people who talks Spanish and Portuguese. There's the live stream market in English speaking, it's really mature. I think it's almost reaching the top, and here we are, just a few people doing this, and we are losing. And as we see by these days, it's really important to embrace live streaming and every opportunities that could come to you by doing this. Well, Mr. Wilson, do you want to say goodbye, to make the goodbyes?
Certainly, I'd just like to say if you enjoyed today's show, then do leave a comment for Marco. Thank you for watching. We enjoy doing these shows together. It's always a pleasure to broadcast on LinkedIn with Marco. And thank you, and take care, and see you again soon.
Yeah, and
thank you, Marco.
Next week you can join us also on the screen. Every 2 weeks we are here at 11 a.m. So if you want to join one of these days, please just let us know on the comments, and then I can bring you to the room also. Okay? So bye, Steven.
Bye.
Bye, all of you. Bye.